Hi everyone, back again. In the last video we kind of tried to set up like stubs, right? And remember there was like this one test case that when we ran it, it threw this weird error before we removed the test case because we felt like okay, test case wasn't necessary. But then I tried recording video twice around maybe yesterday, but maybe I don't know, like and in between recording videos the video I was like feeling sleepy and at the same time also noticing that I was getting all sorts of error. So I have tried to kind of find out why I'm getting those errors, and I may try my best to kind of explain what's going on. So first of all, if you notice from the previous video, we did stub most things, but then we had this kind of queue stub. We had queue stub, we had worker stub, we have queue event stubs. So we had this like set of other three stubs here that we decided to stub, and after we stub, we tried to kind of replace the built-in library with those stubs so that whenever this service is initialized, because when the service is initialized, it kind of calls those classes, right? So that it knows that okay, this is so that it knows to call the stubbed version instead of the real version. Well, that makes sense, right? Of course, most of it, except that these libraries, they are read only, so meaning you can kind of access items from them. So for example, if you use a require, in fact I had to switch it to await before, and that was even the reason I had to put async here. I don't think I need async again. So the content of this library, like all the classes, the variables, whatever it is that was exported in each of these libraries, they are read only. So meaning you cannot just decide to replace them just like that. Like they don't really allow you to do that. So for example, boolean won't allow you to do that. So in order to kind of fix that, I decided to go in a different direction. So and luckily this while I'm recording this video, my head is quite active. So and what I did is many of what we have before still stands, right? We still have this mock template directory which still kind of follow the same pattern as the actual templates directory. We have the service stub for the mailer which still remains. We have the app stub which also still remains. You may have noticed a little changes here. Well, I just made it a bit more readable, nothing much, it's still the same code. Then this is where things now changed. So before I kind of set up those stubs and set up what they should look like, but this time I decided to stub the individual methods that I'm using. The methods I know that this courier service will be calling, at least we know that it's not the entire class that is kind of needed. Maybe yes, the response that we get back, what this thing resolves to, it resolves to like the entire, it's supposed to kind of resolve to the entire class if we're not mistaken, but that's not like what we are interested in. So we just stopped add, because if I go into courier service, you would notice that we have these where are you? So for this queue we have these, after this stuff we call add somewhere down here, can't remember exactly where anymore. I think that should be around create, yeah. So we call add around here, so we need to stop this one so that the actual function doesn't run. So we did that, and then we return so when I return this, I have to put as any. In fact, I don't know if this will work because I have not tested this, but the code should work. It just like looks like something that will work compared to the last one. So, but then I don't know about this because this is supposed to be, if I remove it, it's going to show you this, red squiggly lines, which basically is trying to tell you that the object you are passing here is incomplete because this thing is supposed to return a queue or uh, not a queue exactly, but like a job. It's supposed to return a job, and a job. This job interface has more than this set of properties we are returning. So we are only returning some parts of it. Which, if we want to return the entire job interface, that would be disaster. That would be too much, and it's not necessary because we just need these three. So in that case, I had to kind of put as any, hoping that we can bypass TypeScript and let JavaScript do the handling up for that stuff. And then I also stopped the get jobs, which we call finding when we are finding let's see. So yeah, when we are finding uh, jobs like email jobs, so when we are finding them, so we call get jobs here. So that was, I also decided to stop that. Then lastly, I stopped the on, because remember that we have to set up this on, we have to listen for errors and then call like this undo error stuff. If you remember, if you don't, please go back to the previous episodes. So, and so I have to also stop that before I initialize this. Now this stopping you do here must be done before initializing this service. That's important. So because once you do it, it means that now whenever the service runs, it's going to use that version, the mock version, instead of the actual version, which is what we need for the test. Now there's something interesting I also added, which was I decided to install chai because there were some kind of functionality I wanted to use, and the default assets, like the assets method that's Feathers.js. Okay, actually it comes with Node.js, but that normally you use in Feathers.js is not enough in this case because of what we want to do. So I installed Chai and I installed Sinon Chai. The reason I installed Sinon Chai I also explain. But with Chai I have this expect method that gives me so much more like functionality, so I can kind of test for more things. So that's like the reason for this expect. Now this Sinon Chai was okay. When I took away, when I wasn't like when I installed Chai and I tried to use it, I noticed that when I after I got to this .bin and I wanted to check if this use was called with mailer, because of course we expect that this service should be called within the listen. We've mocked this app.use, but we expect that it should be called with this as the parameter. It's something we are expecting. So though normally use is called with like more than, it's not only that parameter that is passed. If we go back here, you would see that we have use, we have mailer, and then we have this stuff. But then we check if it has at least called with that. So, but this called with doesn't exist in the default expect that function that's chai. Is it chai? Yeah, chai. Yeah, chai kind of provides us. So we go further to install like a library called Sinon Chai that we can use to kind of extend chai, to configure chai to use Sinon assertions. So since chai uses Sinon's assertion, which is what we use for stubbing, it means we can kind of monitor more stuff like when a function is called and things like that. So that's what we have here. So let's first test this. I actually want to add more stuff here, but let's test it. Oh, my bad. I had to save this before I run it. So I was getting an old error that doesn't exist anymore. So little by little, our test suite is coming along. Yeah, we might still be running into errors for now. Maybe we've not done much, but little by little, in case you've not had to deal with mocking, stopping, or spying in your, unit tests, like, here you have it. Here you have it, a version of it. I actually chose to kind of test the courier service first because it's actually much more complicated than the other one. Yeah, so we get this error, and wait, the most unexpected error. I don't expect this. Okay, so unknown file extension .ts for I don't get it. You know what? I'm just going to check like what's even the possibility. I think this second one is possibly the reason. I mean, the TS Nodal module has been working so far when we are testing, but now that I've installed Chai and I've installed Synon Chai, I'm getting this, error that makes it look like it's not, configured properly anymore, meaning it's not loading the TypeScript files as expected. So let me just follow WAP for now, which is like WAP is the name of this terminal, to see what it has to say. It's going to do debugging, so I doubt it can even do the debugging because it doesn't know about this file. Let's see if it's going to get there. Oh, wait a minute. Changing that might introduce its own problem, but let me see. So it's basically saying I should move this up here, which is something that Fed has explicitly excluded. I can still add node modules here actually to make the whole thing fast. So let me see. Whether that changes anything. In fact, they say this I normally get here, I'm not getting anymore. Is it because it's still there? Yeah, if I maybe probably done all this beforehand and then record the video, it's probably going to look like, yeah, it seems I have it all figured out, but then nope. Also, I'm getting back that same error, so meaning everything I did here was not necessary as I expected. So I know that it came with the introduction of Sinon and Chai. I just sort of know it. I don't know how, but I know it. Okay, so I don't know how this is the issue, but I feel like the issue is coming from here. Probably because I moved to dev dependency for all these things, but I shouldn't have my bad. I'm actually going to have to stop this video just to kind of rectify where the issue is coming from, and then I'll resume recording.